What is up guys, Slump here, and today I am hopefully going to be bringing a new series to the channel, starting off with the team that actually won the 2018 NBA Draft Lottery, the Phoenix Suns. Shout out to them, man. They finally got the ping pong balls to go their way. However, listen here, okay? I am not sure that Ryan McDonough will make the right call come June 21st. This draft really doesn't have a definitive number one pick. It depends on each team, to be honest. Like, I could slot a lot of these guys to a certain team at number one, but for the Phoenix Suns, I know who they need to draft, man. It might shock a lot of you, it might piss off a lot of Suns fans, but this is what they must do. Now, let's talk about their needs for a second, okay? This Phoenix Suns team is far from deep. This roster is honestly horrendous. There are a couple guys I really love, obviously. Josh Jackson, who was my number 2 prospect last year. He started off this season kind of rough, but as he got more and more reps, he just became much better, man. Over a course of a month, I believe he averaged like 17.1 points per game. He is an excellent defender. The only defender that I can look at on the Phoenix Suns and say, yeah, he can hold his own. They have nobody else, man. They definitely need to find some ways to shore up on the defensive side of the ball. Now, Devin Booker, I don't even really need to talk about him, but the two main needs on this team, point guard and a big, okay? Preferably a rim protecting big. Now, I'm not going to go in and say that they should draft Mo Bamba because honestly, I'm not sure I would take Mo Bamba at number 1 for any team at all, okay? Mo Bamba is a top 5 prospect in my eyes. I love him. I'm sorry, but you just don't take Bamba at number 1, okay? Now, there are two main candidates, and the Suns fan base is kind of torn right now. One group of the fans want a certain player, the other group of fans want another, okay? I'm gonna be completely honest. It's the fans that live in Arizona that want DeAndre Ayton. The ones that are outside of the state want Luka Doncic. Now, I understand the reasoning behind both picks, and I understand the bashing of both players. Number one, I just gotta come out and say it, alright? Both suck defensively. So regardless with who you take at number 1, between these two, okay, I don't see you guys taking Bamba. The Phoenix Suns are in a great position financially as they'll only owe 2 players a lot of money past this upcoming season in Brandon Knight and TJ Warren. They also have 2 additional picks outside of their number 1 pick, which will be slotted to pick one of the 2 I already mentioned. And with that 16th pick, I think they'll just pick a player to complement who they picked with the number 1 pick. So if it's, you know, let's say DeAndre Ayton, they'll probably go after someone like Zaire Smith, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if he's even available at 16. And if it's Luka Doncic, you might see Jonte Porter, Mitchell Robinson, a big man who has a lot of upside. So either way the Phoenix Suns go, man, I like what they'll be able to do with their first 2 picks in the 2018 NBA Draft and NBA Free Agency. With that being said, let's get into my I'm not going to say breakdown on these prospects. I'm just going to give you guys a little rundown. I'll talk more about them when I drop my big board later on. But let's start off with Luka Doncic. Now, when talking about Luka Doncic, I should mention that his upside isn't as great as some of the other prospects in this draft, such as Marvin, Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, Michael Porter Jr., even Trae Young, Mohamed Bamba. You know, he's not going to have as much potential as those guys due to his lack of athleticism. However, his basketball IQ trumps all. I'm sorry, okay? He by far has the highest floor in this draft. Luka Doncic in this past season averaged around 14.5 points per game, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. You know, pretty sound stats for a 19-year-old playing in the 2nd best league in the world on the best team in Europe. I'm not going to go into the cliches, okay? Like, I'm not going to say he's the greatest European prospect I've watched, because to be honest, I avoided watching a lot of the European prospects until last year. And I ripped last year's European class to shreds. But this year, man, they got a lot of intriguing prospects, such as Isaac Bonga, Dezinan Musa, who should be a top 20 pick, Rodion Kurucs. Like, European players are becoming more and more appealing to me. European prospects usually have a higher basketball IQ than the kids that are playing D1 in the NCAA. It's just facts, man. Something that gets praised about Luka Doncic is his passing, and his passing to me is more of a Chris Paul's game, rather than Rajon Rondo. Less flashy, not like a Ben Simmons. I don't even know why he came up with that comparison, okay? Ben Simmons is an uber athlete, great defender, can't shoot to save his life, while Luka Doncic is a great shooter, okay? Yes, he shot 31% from 3, but I'm more than confident that his 3-point percentages will increase once he gets to the league. The 3-pointer is an integral part of his game, so obviously he's going to continue to work at it, and it would shock me to see him not top 40% by the time his career is over. Now, one thing I do love about Luka Doncic, even though he's not very athletic, he knows how to use his body, and I mean, this dude backs down smaller opponents from the 3-point line. Man, he is great at sizing up smaller opponents. All in all, Luka Doncic might not be the fastest, strongest, or even the most explosive guy in this draft class. What he lacks in athleticism, he more than makes up for in IQ. Luka Doncic is no Mario Hezonja. He will change the Suns culture. I'm sorry to those of you who want DeAndre Ayton, okay? I'm sorry, you guys probably will get him. I think Ryan McDonough, even though you guys hired Luka Doncic's former coach, I truly believe that DeAndre Ayton will be the pick. It's just that in my opinion, if you guys want the most out of your number 1 pick, select Luka Doncic, man. He definitely deserves the honors of being the number 1 pick. He might not be the number 1 guy 10 years down the road, but you guys will have no second doubts about this pick. So yeah guys, that's who I believe the Phoenix Suns should select with the number 1 pick. Let me hear your thoughts if you're a DeAndre Ayton guy, okay? Leave them down in the comments. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to feel the same about it. I know some of you guys hate European prospects like I used to, but Luka Doncic is the furthest thing from a bust.